Good evening. My name is Jonathan Schley, proud principal of South Valley Junior High. Oh, live streaming. I can't walk. I got to talk. Okay, live streamers. Now you can hear me. Proud principal of South Valley Junior High, the only A-rated junior high in Gilbert Public Schools. I'm saying that for all those that have not enrolled here for next year. I'll find you. But no, very proud principal. Third year here, I had the pleasure of welcoming our kiddos behind us, Level Up. I'm glad that I didn't scare away them too much. They got to explore the campus and all of that and then perform to you guys tonight. So I appreciate you guys being here. All of our kiddos here tonight, kind of the melting pot, which I explained to them on Level Up, that we have a lot of feeder schools and a lot more friends they can meet going through the high school. Sorry, I was at the high school today. Through junior high. So again, appreciate kids being here, your guys' support. I do want to thank Mr. Bannon behind me that'll be directing you guys, kiddos tonight, along with the elementary teachers. I see some district folk here, basically everybody for making this happen and supporting the performing arts. I'm one that my daughter just had a recital last night, first solo on stage. She plays the bass. And I feel your guys' pain living as the parent, the hauling the instruments, the practicing, the screeching, the rental fees. I'm living it. But I truly encourage you to stick with your kids and push them through. I just had a conversation with my orchestra teacher because I want to quit and all of that. And she's kind of talked me off the cliff that this is the time that those challenging conversations happen. Don't let them quit. Keep them going, okay? But again, thank you for being here. I look forward to seeing many of you guys in these stands throughout the next few years. And I'm going to pass the mic. But thank you guys. Enjoy the show.
So I get to make a lot of special thanks to a lot of people today before we get started. Kind of like the credits we usually skip through on Netflix, but it's very important. My name is Jack Bannon. I'm the band director here at South Valley Junior High School. And believe it or not, this is the 10th year that we've had this particular concert. So it's pretty amazing that we've had students who started out in 6th grade and 10 years later, a lot of them are still even playing their instruments in college. So I want to give a special welcome to people that are watching at home on YouTube, or those of you who will watch it later on YouTube. And the purpose of this concert is to show you the vibrancy that we have in music in the Gilbert Public Schools, and particularly here at South Valley, the schools that feed into South Valley and go on to Campo Verde. So you're going to hear some amazing performances from people who've only played for a year all the way to people who are seniors in high school. So you can see for yourself the progression that occurs, and it's really wonderful. I have several special thank yous to make. First of all, for our PE department here at South Valley. This is their classroom, and without their help and their graciousness of letting us get in here early today to start setting all this stuff up, we wouldn't be ready for it, so I really appreciate them. We have some wonderful parent volunteers who showed up today and organized all of the feeding of all of the 6th graders behind me. We have 160 students here, and they got them all fed some pizza and cookies and water real quick, and I really appreciate those parents doing that. Without those volunteers, it just wouldn't happen. It was very, very nice of that. We have a special group of students here at South Valley, our 8th grade band council students. Band council, they can't hear me. I forgot all the 8th graders are in the wrestling room right now. Well, there's a few of you right in front of me, but I want to acknowledge everybody. But our band council students are a special group of 8th graders who are kind of gluttons for punishment. They've been here since school started. They stayed after school. They did help me set up all this stuff, and it's really, really appreciate them doing all of that. We have some administrators, a lot of administrators, Ms. Carlson, Ms. Norberg, Ms. Green, Dr. Henry, Mr. Thomas, and Mr. Dumas, who are the principals at our elementary schools and at Campo Verde, who are wonderful supporters of all their music programs at their own schools. And of course here, Mr. Schley, who you just met, Mr. Yanez, and Ms. Hutchinson, our Dean of Students, who are wonderful supporters here. The Campo Verde Wind Ensemble is here to play tonight with Mr. Kozak and Mr. Johnson. I'm not sure if he was able to make it tonight. I know you guys have tons of different gigs going on at the same time, so what's that? He's at All-State Jazz Festival, which I'm sure you have a lot of students in that too. So we really appreciate him coming and all of his students coming and donating their time to play for you. We have our elementary teachers that none of this 6th grade would be happening without Ms. Dector, Dr. Sanchez, and Mr. Seagraves, who's down here running our live stream. They did all the hard work putting all this music together. I just to get to kind of go up and have fun and wave the stick and be the superstar. But without them, this music wouldn't happen tonight. And the continuation of those students all the way through high school starts with them, and we really appreciate that here at South Valley. Our South Valley Fine Arts Department, Mrs. Levy and Miss Larson and Miss Shumway, our choir teacher, we do a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff together. We worked great together to promote music and drama and all of the arts to all of our students here at South Valley. All of you guys, just like Mr. Sly said, you had to put up with squeaks and squawks and how does the instrument put together and oops, I dropped it and how much is that going to cost and all those kinds of things. And the benefit of that, you're going to see the progression tonight. Please stick with it. It's really worth it. And most of all, I want to thank all of the student performers here, especially the 6th graders who's donating this time tonight to play together with people they didn't even know until today, to all of my own 7th grade and 8th grade students who've worked very hard to play their songs for you today. So we're going to start out with our 6th grade. They've been well fed. And so what did I just do? There we go. And I'm going to ask you guys to please silence your cell phones, turn off any small children, so that all of our students who've worked really hard can have your attention when they play. Applause is our payment, so at the end of each of the songs, please applaud loudly and enthusiastically. Let's try not to yell out any names so we don't single anyone out, but that's what makes it worth it for every musician. So let's show them some love when we do that. And that's it. Our 6th graders are the stars of the show. They're going to play it first and they're going to play last. So on with the show. Thank you for coming tonight. you think it was fun to listen to, it's really fun to stand right in front of them, to hear it all come together from students from different schools. It's very, very, very cool. Our counselors recently spoke to all of the sixth graders as they came and visited. I'm a little twisted here. As they came and visited for our Level Up days to explain how everything works here at South Valley for all the different electives. But look at all these people behind me, 160 of them. This could be their seventh grade band. If every one of them signs up, this is what their class would be. How fun would that be every single day? And I know that not all the students here are coming to South Valley. It doesn't matter where they go. I'm telling you, in Gilbert, we have the best junior high band directors in the state of Arizona, in every single one. So please keep your students in these programs and have bands like this everywhere. So we are going to now progress to our seventh graders, and they're going to play a song called Advance of the Roman Legions. So you can kind of picture this giant army moving together towards a destination. And what I really, really want you to listen for is the progression. Almost every one of these students was one of these sixth graders last year. And they played in the same concert a year ago. And now it's going to be really cool to hear what they sound like now. So please enjoy our seventh grade band. I'll tell you one thing about that that's kind of special. At South Valley, our woodwind players, our flutes, our clarinets, our saxophones, in 7th grade, rehearse at a different class period than our brass and percussion players. And on top of that, we have a beginning band program here. So if you have a child coming to 7th grade at South Valley, or even 8th grade, and they never had the opportunity to play an instrument, or they did and they stopped and they regretted it, they can join our beginning band. And we had 14 students in beginning band this year, and they all just performed with that ensemble there. And they didn't even know how to open the case until August, which is pretty incredible. And the best part about that makes me the proudest is tonight was what you just heard was the very first time that 7th grade has played that song all the way through together with all the classes mixed. Next Tuesday, February 6th, we're having our expo for 7th grade for you 6th grade parents to come and see all the things that we have. And so our 7th grade band, the one you just heard, is going to start learning a new piece, and we're just going to have an open rehearsal that night. So feel free to pop in and see how we learn songs from the beginning. So this set change is going to take just a little bit because we've got to transition to our 8th grade band, move a few things apart. But if you were here last year, what they just accomplished and the number of notes they played and the number of new things they learned compared to when they started out 6th grade is really, really pretty big. So when you come to South Valley, in 7th grade, every student gets one elective class. And they don't always get the class they sign up for because those classes fill up and then they just might get something else. With band, also true with our orchestra classes, there is no limit. If all 160 of these 6th graders signed up for 7th grade band, they would all be in 7th grade band. So it's the best place for them to be if they already have friends to come in. They don't want to have to worry about, ooh, am I going to make this class, or what class am I going to be in if I don't get the one I signed up for? If they sign up for this class, they're 100% guaranteed that they will be there. There are no tryouts and no limits. We have band for an entire hour every single day. So we don't worry about, did I forget my instrument today? Oh, is today Tuesday? Do I have band Tuesday? Nope. We meet just like every other class during the day for an entire hour. We get just as many minutes. We get more minutes in 7th grade band by Christmas than 6th grade band gets an entire school year. So that's why our beginners can play at the level they're playing now, because they get that repetition every single day. In the program that hopefully you scanned that QR code and got to take a look at that, there's a lot of things that talk about, careful. That's a little too high. As I tell my students, if something falls on one of them and I don't get to pick who it is, it's just no fun. But in that program, you'll notice that there's a whole bunch of things that talks about how music is good for your brain and how it's going to make you better at this job or that job. And one particular one, I don't believe I actually put that one on there, is that music degrees from college have the highest acceptance rates into medical schools. 66% of music students who apply to medical schools make it into medical schools. And as an anecdote, I encourage you to do this because I do it every time. I'm getting old, so I'm doing it more often lately. But the next time you go to your doctor or your dentist or your pediatrician, ask them what instrument they played or if they sang in the choir. I've only had one doctor ever not. My dentist is a trombone player. I just went in for some ortho stuff on my knee. He was a trumpet player. He told me his sister played clarinet. She's a brain surgeon in New York. So those things help, but ultimately music should be about music's sake. We want music to be transcendent, something they can experience, that applause that they can hear, that feeling they get when they play. You can only get it through music. So yes, it helps us think better, it helps us learn better, it helps us better in school. We're surrounded by better people. We get involved in less bad things, even with Mr. Seagraves as a friend. But ultimately, we want to be able to do it because of that. So our 8th grade is going to play. We're going to do a quick warm-up, and then we are going to do the Star Spangled Banner. And when we do that, I'm going to invite you all to rise. And I'll tell you a quick story as they're almost done setting up. My grandfather, my mother's father, was a band director for 50 years. He taught in Pennsylvania, had a mandatory retirement age. When he got there, he bought a trailer on the Pennsylvania-New Jersey border and continued to teach in New Jersey during the school year. He was a passionate music teacher. I didn't want to be a teacher. I wanted to be a professional trumpet player, and I did that. And now I'm a teacher, and I love it. This is my 28th year teaching. I'm barely over halfway what he did. And I remember when I first got a teaching job, he told me one thing. He made me promise that at every, sorry, I'm getting choked up thinking about my grandfather. Every single performance that I'm involved in, that I'm in charge of, we will play the Star Spangled Banner. Whether that's an elementary school and I'm the only one and I pull my trumpet out and play it, or like tonight, you're going to hear our 8th grade play it. So please enjoy the Star Spangled Banner after our warm-up. Love you, Grandpa. Please rise for our national anthem. So they used to be sixth graders too. And now they're playing stuff like the Star Spangled Banner and our last song that they're going to play, Abington Ridge, that you're going to hear. But before we do that, I want to show, I love this part of it. And you'll notice that my students are not wearing a traditional band uniform. And we do that on purpose, especially for our sixth grade parents who have never had students in junior high before, that this is your first one. And one of the questions, one of the concerns that's expressed most often is, hey, we're really into this activity. We're into cheer or sports or underwater basket weaving. Can we still do those things and do band? And the answer is yes. And it's not just yes, we want you to do that. Middle school is a perfect place to, so we have clubs like crazy and teams like crazy. We want your children, involved in everything. So I'm going to read a list off of activities that my students are involved in. Some of them are involved in multiple activities. They just had to pick one. And you'll notice that they're wearing different outfits on top to represent that. We're even going to ask the high school students at the end if any of them are involved in things that in high school outside of band that show you that you can continue to play an instrument no matter what else you're interested in. All right, you guys ready? So wrestling. Stand up if you're involved in wrestling. Baseball. The chess team. Softball. Martial arts of any kind. Basketball. Football. Cross country, swim, cheer, volleyball, soccer, National Junior Honor Society, student council, hockey, dance, our United Sound program, track, gymnastics, rugby, if you're involved in church activities, if I didn't say yours or you didn't hear it, or if music is your activity, or there's any other one that I might have missed, please stand up. In Gilbert, you really can do it all, and they do. Music does not have to suffer in their lives because of it. Thank you. We're going to close with Abington Ridge with our 8th grade band. So it's customary. So after we finish the last note of Abington, I'm just going to point to Miley. She'll stand up briefly, and then I'll have everybody. After the song, please recognize Miley Nyman on her trumpet solo because she really likes that attention. I know how desperately you want to hear me continue to speak. You could laugh, it's okay, I get it. But I'm going to introduce you now to Mr. Kozak, who is an extremely good high school band director. His bands win awards like you wouldn't believe. I'm extremely proud of it too, because most of those students were sixth graders here at one point. So I always love when he brings his bands to play, so I can hear how fantastic my former students have done under his tutelage. So, Mr. Kozak.
I have to talk to both of these, right? I think that's what I'm supposed to do. Hi, my name is Mr. Kozak. I am the band director at Campo Verde High School. One of two band directors. Mr. Johnson is not with us tonight. He's at All-State Jazz Band. Some of our students just came from there. But we have a great, amazing program at the high school, and I think it's really cool for you guys to get a chance to see all of the progression from 6th grade to 7th grade to 8th grade and now to high school, and getting to hear the wind ensemble. This is our top ensemble. So at Campo Verde we have 3 different levels of concert bands. It's not divided by age, it's divided by ability level. So there's a concert band, a symphonic band, and a wind ensemble, and this is the wind ensemble here, which is our top ensemble. There's 2 jazz bands. We have a marching band, we have a color guard, we have a winter guard, we have a winter drumline. We have a sax quartet that is performing this Saturday at the Arizona Music Educators Conference. So if you're in the sax quartet, can you stand up? That's a big recognition for them. Many of our students participated this last month in Solo and Ensemble, which is a festival where they perform solos and small ensemble music for adjudication. This last weekend, we had 28 of our students audition successfully for the Central Region Honor Band. So I wanted to give them a hand and have them stand up. You guys can stand up if you made the regional. Okay, like I said, we had 2 All-State Jazz students. You guys want to stand up real quick? 2 of our All-Staters. We do have a private lesson program at Campo Verde where the students take private lessons on campus, which helps them develop very quickly and get a lot better on their instruments. So that's a pretty neat thing. We're starting this year a guitar program, and we also are starting a history of popular music class. So our goal at Campo Verde is to be able to offer whatever your students are interested in, and we want them to be involved in music through their high school experience. So even if some of them are like, well, I'm really too busy to do marching band. Well, they can do concert band, and they can do jazz band, and they can do some of these other ensembles, even if they don't have the time, because they're involved in so many different things. We have several of our students that are sitting over there that are involved in sports and clubs, and they just flourish at the high school. So I really want to encourage your students to continue on all the way through junior high. And some of them, they say, the most thing I hear is after 8th grade, they're like, I don't know. I just don't know anymore. I kind of feel like I'm done with band. I haven't really gotten to, I think I'm done with it, And I'm like, you're just getting started. There's so much to do at the high school, so many opportunities for them to perform and make friends. And I just think that's missing the boat. If they say, oh, I'm not feeling it anymore, encourage them. Encourage them to continue on and try it and get into the high school, because once they get involved, they usually stick with it because it's such a great thing to be a part of. Another thing that we do at Campo that is really cool that I think your students are going to enjoy is we get to travel internationally and perform at lots of different things. 2018, we performed at Carnegie Hall in New York. In 2020, we performed in London at the New Year's Day Parade. 2022, this last year, we did the Pearl Harbor Parade in Hawaii, and we're already planning for 2025-26 to do another major trip. We do it every 3 years so that every kid gets a chance to travel and have a good experience in the high school. So I'll go ahead and let the cat out of the bag. We've applied to perform in Ireland and do the parade in Ireland in that year. So that's going to be a really great thing, a really great experience for all those students. And so I'm really looking forward to that. It's extended even further. We do have South Valley Color Guard. We have South Valley Drumline. We have color guards at all the elementary schools now. So we're really just trying to get all these kids involved in the program and let them see how great it is to be a part of the music program. So please encourage your students. It's an incredible experience. I have 2 kids involved in this whole system. One's sitting right over there, and one's in 7th grade, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. So I encourage you to keep your kids involved in the music here. We're going to be performing a piece for you called The Falls. The Falls is, this is what the composer wrote about this. It highlights the falls as highlighting the falls as it cascades over rocky terrain. Sparkling wind and brass fanfares depict the water as it rushes forward before exploding over the edge. Melodic lines transport the audience into the mysterious and rapturous wilderness as this remarkable piece evokes one of nature's most glorious creations. So this piece is about the falls. We're actually going to take a moment and do some section features because the piece is a little bit shorter than what we usually do. Mr. Bannon doesn't like it when we play like really long songs, so we're going to play a little bit of a shorter song. And but because we're doing that, he doesn't know we're going to do this. But we're going to play a couple little section features so that the students can hear the flutes and the clarinets and the saxophones by themselves, and then we're going to put it all together. So I hope you enjoy The Falls. This is our flute section, flutes and oboes. Clarinet. This is the clarinets. The saxophones. 2, 3. Trumpets. 2, 3. All right. Our French horns. 1, 2, 3. Our low brass, which is trombones, euphonium, and tuba. And last, certainly least, I'm just kidding, percussion. Percussion. 1, 2, 3. You all right? You all right? That didn't go as planned, but that's okay. All right, this is the whole piece, the pulse.
All right, now on to the 6th grade, our featured group for the final one. But before we play our last song, Cowboy Cattle Drive, I'm going to ask that, thank you, Chip. I'm going to ask that you, at the end of the concert, to not congregate here on the floor to socialize. Your 7th and 8th grade students are going to give you your instruments or put them off to the side. Everybody has a responsibility after the concert. They have a job, so we can all get out of here at a decent time. So all our 7th graders are going to be putting away a bunch of chairs, our 8th graders a bunch of chairs and stands. So please be patient with us after our last song so that they have the time to do that. I hope that you've enjoyed and experienced and that our students have recognized in themselves this progression. What we just heard was absolutely stellar, and I can't tell you enough how proud I am of all the students there in high school who suffered through me when they were here and what they sound like now. I'm just blown away. And towards that end, I want to recognize a progression here. So I'm going to ask every 7th grader, every 8th grader, and every high school student who remembers participating in this concert in the 6th grade band when they were here to please stand up. And so that's really what it's all about, for the 6th grade students and my students to hear what they can be, and for the high school students to remember where they came from. So we hope you enjoyed that. Our last song is going to be called Cowboy Cattle Drive, and some of our students have brought some extra clothing to wear for that, some hats, some bandanas to add to the festive atmosphere. So I'm going to ask them to go ahead and put that on now. Now, I would do it too, but I don't own any cowboy gear, so I'm just going to be up there conducting my normal self.
Wait a minute, Mr. Bannon. I got you.
I'm afraid. Guys, remember the end? Remember the end? There's 33 we play together, and then the trombones are going to stand up, big ring, and the very last thing, boom, yee-haw, last note. All right, I'm going to start by going 1, 2, yee-haw, and then we play. Got it? Yeah. All right. 1, 2, yee-haw! everyone for coming and listening to all of our performers. Thank you everybody out there in YouTube land. Please allow us some time to clean up. The faster they clean up, the more time you have for ice cream. Good night.